va a morir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sig, and you're watching the news. Tonight we turn to the top story of the debate regarding the United States' foreign involvement in the affairs of our little brown brothers in the Philippine Islands. During the Spanish-American War, the Filipinos were liberated from Spanish misrule by American troops. While we still remain on the islands, the question has now become whether or not we should continue to aid them in rebuilding their government. With a report on the conditions in the Philippines, we now go to Canadian, reporting from Manila Harbor. Canadian, how's it looking over there?
Hello, Sig. I'm reporting from here, from the Philippine Islands, from my tent, as quite frankly things are looking a bit chaotic here on the islands. One of the main issues is that there are radical differences in language on the various large tribes, the differences in religion or knowledge about religion, the subjection of many tribes to the Roman Catholic Church for 200 years, the tendency of some towards Mohammedanism, and the absence of all religious knowledge by others.
Now, do we know how many tribes there are on the islands?
There is no way of knowing for sure, but the best information we have supports that there are 40 to 50 tribes, several of them 300,000 strong, one 600,000, one 1,500,000. Most natives have been suspicious of the American aids because they know the white race only by one specimen, the Spaniard. However, I have here a brave young native willing to share his thoughts on the Americans' involvement. Now tell me, do you believe that the Americans need to keep troops stationed in the Philippines? I, along with many others, passionately believe that the Americans should stay stationed in the Philippines. Without them, it is for certain that anarchy would reign over our beloved islands. If the Americans were to leave, my people would be nothing but cunning, unreliable, and unattractive. If the Americans were to stay and transform our government, my people would be orderly and have women with expressive eyes and good white teeth. Yet there are a few foolish tribes that disagree and want to drive out our generous saviors. Now, Sig, I ask you this. How could a nation so divided ever be expected to run its own government?
What an important question, Canadian. To try to bring about an answer, we have decided to stage a brief live debate between William Jennings Bryan and the prestigious Senator Alfred Beveridge. Here with us, representing the anti-imperialist view of the question, is William Jennings Bryan, the two-time, emphatic but unsuccessful presidential candidate for the Democratic Populist Party. Although he is rarely ever successful, he continuously insists on speaking. Republican Senator Alfred Beveridge is representing the imperialist side of the argument. Alfred Beveridge has much knowledge on the subject due to his recent investigative trip to the Philippines. Mr. Bryan, what is your opinion on America's involvement in the Philippines at this point?
Imperialism is the policy of an empire, and an empire is a nation composed of different races living under varying forms of government. A republic cannot be an empire, for a republic resents upon the theory. As stated in our beloved Declaration of Independence, the government derives their powers from the consent of the governed, and colonialism violates this theory. America has accomplished its goals in the Philippines, and it's now time for our departure from the islands.
All right. Senator Beveridge, your rebuttal?
The Filipinos are a barbarous race, modified by 3 centuries of contact with a decadent race, the Spanish. It is barely possible that 1,000 men in all the archipelago are capable of self-government in the Anglo-Saxon sense. The Declaration of Independence applies only to people capable of self-government. How dare any man prostitute this expression of the very elect of self-government peoples to a race of Malay children of barbarism, schooled in Spanish methods and ideas?
Mr. Bryan, do you have any response to this true statement?
Well,
Eloquently put. Now, Senator Beveridge, in your excellent opinion, what should America's next course of action be?
The Philippines are ours forever, territory belonging to the United States, as the Constitution calls them. And just beyond the Philippines are China's limitless markets. We will not retreat from either, for geography has decided that China is our natural customer. For China is nearer to us than to England, Germany, or Russia, the commercial power of the present and the future. They have moved nearer to China by securing permanent bases on her borders, as we must do also. We will not repudiate our duty in the archipelago. We will not abandon our opportunity in the Orient. We will now renounce our part in the mission of our superior race, trustee, under God, of the civilization of the world.
Thank you to both debaters for your time and thoughts, especially to Senator Beveridge for your insight on this complex issue. That is all the time we have left. Thanks for watching the news.